Hi everyone, it's Jeanette, or Crafty Dork. I'm here with a video for the Circle of Friends. It's run by Susanna Easdale over at Vintage Bean Studio, and this month my piece is going to My Cottage Crafts, Jeanette Bagley. And Jeanette wanted some vintage red, blue and old white, I think it was, she said. Was it old white? It was something. Here's my little piece of paper. Oh dear, 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 where are you? Where is it? Hopeless, hopeless, hopeless. Oh, there it is. Yeah, old whites. Vintage reds, vintage blues and old whites. So that's everybody that's in the collaboration, and I will pop it in the description box down below. Now this is a little bag of goodies there that we won't show about. So I've done the block. This is a newer fabric that I've had in my stash for quite a while, but it is a bit newer. This one here came from a pack that I bought from France, and I am assuming that it's a French linen. Jeanette, you'll probably know more about that than me. Then I put a piece on the back, and it's an old piece of linen from a doily. So that's the back of it. And as I started, I've done everybody's with a doily, so I thought, right, we'll keep on that theme, and I've done Life is Nothing Without Friends on everybody's. And then I've sort of decorated the doily, and here I've just done some bead work, because I know Jeanette likes her beads and a bit of blingy. So I did that, and then this stitch was here, and I just couched over, and I'll just get... So that's coming up, yeah. So it's a little, no, it's stitch that goes across there, and I thought I'll just couch over it in blue, just to sort of highlight it a little bit more. And then at the end of each little flower, I've just put 3 little beads, seed pearls or seed beads. These are from the same person that I got this from in France, and she sent me some little labels, so I've used those. I just put a little garden down there with some vintage yo-yos that Susanna sent me in a pack. Thank you very much, Susanna. They came in really handy. And then I did a bit of turkey work with some of my Wonderful thread. And I sort of had this all, and I thought, oh my goodness, I've got to do something around the edge. And I just didn't know what to do. But then these were little circles, and I thought, well, I'll do a circle, and then there were little dots around the place. There's one down there I didn't do because it was too close to the edge. So I did some little French knots to emphasize those, and a little French knot in the center. Then I thought, well, I'll do some little daisies up here and down here. And then I thought, well, it just didn't look right. And I had this lace, and it was a piece of lace that was long, and they were the flowers along it. So I cut the flowers off in piece up and popped them on there, and then just stitched around the center in the blue. And I think I'm happy with it now. Before I had those on there, it just was bland. So I hope it's going to be all right. It has frayed a bit, Jeanette, but hopefully it'll still work in with I didn't expect this to fray as much as it did. And luckily it was the width that I needed. So I hope you enjoy it. And there it is again. My Circle of Friends block for Jeanette Bagley at My Cottage Crafts. So while we're here, I will also show you my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. I haven't done anything to it yet. You've probably seen my front piece. One day I'm going to have time to sew it all in, but I've got the part samplers done That was the first page with our bunny for January, and February was a neutral background with fancy flowers. So I had some little pieces of material that I cut up. I made a few little yo-yos and popped on there. Some little circles of material, and these have been scrunched up and either which way, like a flower petal would get tossed around in the garden. Did some bullion stitches in the centre and some seed pearls in there to highlight those up. This was just a little piece of lace that I had, and I thought, well, I'll just pop that on there and it can just stay as is. And this is very similar to the flowers that I used on Jeanette's, but these were white and these are a creamy colour. So I used those as well. Did some camphor stitch there. This was a little piece that I had, I think Rachel from her little box of goodies. Either Rachel or the one from France. I can't remember, to be quite honest. I put it on the back of calico. And then some lace down the bottom, which I just stitched along here to make it look like a bit of a fence across there. And this will hang out of the book. So I'm not sure on this yet. I want to put a tab on it, but that may be too big. I might have to cut it down a fraction and have just a smaller, but we'll see once I stitch it in, because that will stitch in there and this will hang out the side a bit. So this is all the extra bits, so it mightn't be too bad. This little tail's going to hang out too. So that's my 2 stitching, and I did most of that while we were up the river having a bit of fun, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. So now I've got to start on the next one, which is like vintage or pre-loved material and butterflies. So that'll pop in there. So we'll have to see what I'm going to end up doing for that one. We'll get started as soon as I make 4 sewing machines, and what else do I have to do? 4 sewing machines, and I've got to make a stitch of the collaboration for Abby Henderson, all in purples, which are not my favourite colour, and I haven't got a lot of them, but we will see what we can do with that one. So I will show you, and I'm hoping that I can sometimes come on and show you a bit of the process, but time and grandkids, and we've got to go to Adelaide with Pete's hearing appointments and see his mother, and evidently her back garden, she hasn't been out the back for 6 months, she tells her daughter, and Jenny said it will take us a quarter of an hour just to tidy it up, but and let me assure you that it will not be messy. She just it's got to be spicko. So we'll do that tomorrow on Tuesday as well, and then we'll be back for babysitting again. So time isn't my good friend at the moment, but I will get on here as much as I can. Love talking to you all. Love your comments. So please stay healthy, stay happy, look after yourselves and your family, have fun crafting. In the meantime, I will catch you next time. Bye for now.